What's the worst thing about being a woman in 2026?
That men act like women.
Men are becoming more feminine.
Men are becoming more feminine.
What has led you to believe that?
Just the way they act. They're not masculine anymore. They just act more ladylike.
Do you think the same way women are becoming more masculine? And that's contributing to the shift.
Well, unfortunately, they have to because men are acting more feminine. Okay, I'll continue my walk now. Thank you.
Wait, how do we solve this problem though?
No, act like a man.
What's good? You know, I clicked on the video, so I'm already knowing you with the vibes. So today, we're trying to understand the base of why the statement of man in America lack masculinity. Let's get right into it.
This is a British man's Adam's apple, and this is an American man's Adam's apple. Have you ever noticed that in recent years, a lot of American men don't have an Adam's apple anymore? There's actually a chemical in America called atrazine, which is banned in the UK, that literally eats away at male testosterone. And this chemical is in literally everything in America. So any products with corn syrup in actually have this chemical in. It's in their drinking water in America. It's in their chips, their popcorn, a lot of sodas, so Fanta. Also used to feed livestock, which obviously goes into people's meats. The World Health Organization actually did state that this chemical is slightly carcinogenic to humans, and it also, they still use it in Australia apparently. UK and the EU and 60 other countries, I believe, have banned this chemical. This is why you rarely see an American with an Adam's apple, because it's actually biting away at their testosterone. They don't even produce this anymore when they're going through puberty.
Okay, so I seen the girl talking about how men no longer have like Adam's apples and stuff like that. So I'm like, that's an actual valid point, and there has to be a science about this. So me being me, right? I got to doing my research, right? Y'all, the chemical is called atrazine or something like that. I'm gonna put it up here. The chemical eats away at the male testosterone. It's in the chemicals, the fruit, the sprays, the things that they put on vegetables, water. These men are literally losing testosterone, y'all. So we're not tripping when we say that they're sassy. Scientifically, they literally are slowly and surely picking up the traits of female, and their testosterone is decreasing. Y'all, we are mentally dating each other. We are mentally dating each other. And if that don't scare you, babe. So the attitudes, the talking back, even the bedazzled clothes, it's all making sense now. They think they women, and they can't even help it though. Whoa.
Yes, man. It's the truth they don't want you to know. The same chemical that they are using to put in your food and water, bro, that they use to make the frogs gay, bro. They putting that in the grass too, man. It's the honest truth they don't want you to know. Like I said, they use that same chemical, bro, to make the frogs gay, bro. And they using that same shit. We already know they're putting it in the food and the water. But did you know that they literally is putting it in the grass too, man?
Okay, so allow me to rant for a little bit. At a point of time in my life, I was growing marijuana plants. Nothing crazy, nothing serious, just experimenting. So, during this process, I found out that you cannot have what would you consider a male plant around the female plants. You had to remove it because this male plants, which produce seeds, would ferment the female plants to produce seeds, ultimately taking away from the THC level of the actual plant itself. So, once you identified the male plant, you had to basically remove it from the vicinity of the female plants. Now, if you ask me, back in the days, the plants, the herb with the seeds in it, man, those were some of the best highs, hands down, in my opinion. Also leading me to this conclusion. You go into the grocery store, right? None of the fruits have seeds anymore. When it comes down to the watermelons, the oranges, even the grapes, you don't see seeds anymore. So, with that being said, everything that we're consuming, even when it comes down to the herb that y'all smoking nowadays, everything is predominantly female. You picking up what I'm saying?
Let's watch this video and then I'm going to respond. I used to fish when I was a little girl. You gotta be real quiet on the creek.
So I want you to tell me, who are these boys behaving like? Are they behaving like masculine young black men, or are they behaving like feminine young black men? And the first comment is, don't attack me, but I think that they're just having fun. Young black men do not have fun in ways as a female. Women have blurred the lines of what men do and what women do. Y'all have taken away the roles and the positions of the man, and now they think that they can do things that women do, and this is not fucking okay. We continue to have gay men who have full-on beards and wigs telling our young men that this behavior is okay, and black women support the nonsense. You will never see a black man, a masculine black man, supporting the gay lifestyle at all. At all. At all. At what point as women do we hold ourselves accountable for the direction that we have allowed our people to go in? Because these boys are not behaving like men. They're reflecting what we do. Shaking breasts. Who has the power of doing that? Women. And then gay men who go and get implants, or they get fat enough to have their breast out, or their chest out, their pecs out. Literally. It is so disgusting how this behavior has become normalized. Y'all have literally taken away masculinity and placed the man within the feminine role. Literally. These boys truly think that their behavior is not okay. This is not okay. Why are young black men okay with behaving feminine? You bouncing your chest as if you have breasts is like you want to be a woman. Playboy Max wanting to be a fucking woman. Dean wanting to be a woman. Every single black male role model that they have in the public wants to be gay. Every single one. Every single one act like they be fucking on men. Every single one is doing gay shit. Every single one. Tell me one young black man that has not done some gay shit somewhere, some shape, on camera, somewhere. Please tell me. If black women do not start to speak up against this behavior, it is going to get worse, because they are reflecting us. They're not doing shit that men would do. They're bouncing their chest like they're women because we're allowing the gay culture to implement within our society. They used to be on the outskirts. Black women never used to celebrate this fucking shit. I'm irritated. Oh my God, I didn't get up here to be a role model. When you get in front of a camera, it doesn't matter what your intentions was. What you're physically doing is influencing the younger generation. I'm not trying to hear it. I'm not trying to hear that.
There's a decrease in the amount of men that's exuding masculinity. And I think part of the problem is we've allowed people who are not men to define what that is and what it's supposed to look like. When women use shaming language to dictate what men's standards are supposed to be, if you follow and acquiesce to that, you're not being masculine. If your standard is, I don't deal with women who dress in provocative ways and have OnlyFans on links on their subscription. How can you say that? Da 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 da. You're insecure. Da 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 da. And now guys will get beat into submission where they won't stand on that. If you keep being beholden to the female emotions around you, which unfortunately there's a whole party where that's kind of happening on one side, that's already a big issue.
They told men to sit down, to shut up, and just to let the world burn. And most of them listened. America has a masculinity problem. Sure does. And it's not because men are too strong. It's because men have been told for decades to be weaker, to be softer, to be quieter, be more acceptable. And what's the result? Look around. Men with no backbone, no direction, no families, no legacy. Obese men stuffing their faces while our country burns. Men in their 30s glued to their phones. Men who couldn't change a fucking tire, let alone defend a household. That's not progress. That's regression. And the people in power love it, because weak men don't resist. Weak men don't fight back. Weak men just obey. And that's how nations die. Not from an outside attack, but from the inside, when the men stop being men. But here's the truth that nobody wants to admit. It doesn't have to stay this way. Men can rise above what most men have become. Men can rebuild. Men can take back their strength, their discipline, their pride. A society of strong men would never have allowed what we see today. And a society of strong men won't allow it tomorrow. But it starts with you.
What that guy said was pretty dumb, but it is not. It is not. It is not true. It is true that Democrats have a problem, especially with young men. I mean, that is a real fact.
So then to me, that in a way it validates what Clay Travis is talking about, because if you're trying to get young men, you're not going to get them on all policy points and all. No, Joe Rogan knows karate, and sometimes he talk about drugs. That's good enough for me. Pete Hegseth was in Germany this week doing squats with like 220 on the bar outside for no reason. That's what the Democrat. I'm being silly, but
and you know what?
serious.
One of the other points that Clay Travis made, and I think this is true, we saw this in real time when Trump had the assassination attempt in Butler. That image of him raising his fist and saying "fight, fight, fight" was like a shot of testosterone in the arms of a lot of men. Mark Zuckerberg was like, "Oh my God, he's so cool."
And
now look at where we are politically with some of these very people really turning politically toward Trump.
Those numbers that you just read, it's been happening for 10 years. This has been happening slowly but surely over time. I think that pollster in that clip earlier had said 2 out of 6 moderate men voted for Trump. It was the majority of moderate men voted for Trump. Even over 20% of liberal men voted for Trump. There has been what is seen as I don't want to say a war on masculinity, but there has been this trend in the Democratic Party, or it's at least felt that the left is becoming more and more hostile to the things that are typically men. And you've seen John Fetterman talk about this idea of like patronizing, calling them bros, or that ad that looked like a spoof at the end of the race of like real men do this. It's like, have you ever talked to a dude in your life? So in James Carville saying, we need to have less like yappy voices and more men talking. And there are many men in the Democratic Party, others.
Democratic messaging is too feminine. But Carrie, what do you think is the masculinity that they are attracted to in Trump?
I'm laughing because no disrespect to you lovely men on this panel.
We do have
but you men are something. You men are something. And I can see the appeal of Donald Trump being a very strong masculine man, and I can see him winning over men, because I do agree the Democratic Party for all intent and purpose felt like a place for the others, and they tried to take on every issue that the Republicans didn't want. If you want to talk about trans, come here. If you want to talk about LGBTQIA, come here. If you want to talk about men and women, in sports, come here. There were all of these things that I felt men wanted to say felt emasculating. It felt like, I'm not with that. I don't believe in that. And I'm going to go over here because they're saying what I'm thinking.
Kamala versus Trump. Subconsciously, I can't help but feel that this was also an act of war against masculinity and femininity. On one hand, you have the masculine trying to hold steadfast of America, having a strong backbone and being built off the grit of man, going against the femininity of the new standards of America being or having acceptance towards the LGBT community, and also leading with the facade of a Megan Thee Stallion twerking on stage.
The U.S. does not like legitimate masculinity, and I would say that is very true. They prefer feminine energy. They prefer the softness. They prefer, because if you're too strong, that's in, why are you, what's the purpose of doing that? No, this is just, it is what it is. And then, but in other cultures, it's just not the case. If you have the strength, you have the strength. You're there. So yeah.
I don't mind not being seen as masculine as the men who came before me.
To be honest, I agree. The men of the past, those men were miserable with the lives that they lived. They had to work a blue-collar job. Don't let the family come from poverty. They probably working since they was 15 or 16. Don't get me started on how some of them had to go across seas to fight in a war because that was a family tradition, and that's just what men did. In reality, a lot of women be like, oh, you can't build a house. Cool, I bought one. Oh, you're not good with cars. You're not good at fixing things. Cool, I'll pay somebody to do it. There's things I'm good at. There's things I'm not good at. But I know my lane. So many of you try to come on here and try to bash men saying you're not masculine enough. Sweetheart, I'm a person before I am a man. Let me say it again. I am a person before I am a man. There's things I'm good at. There's things I'm bad at. I have bad days. I have good days. But just know, I'm going to figure it out. But you can't shame me and make me feel less of a person.
Nah, listen, I'm not rocking with that. If you ask me, I'm a man before I'm a person.
Do you think that maybe, in America, men are just soft? Maybe that's why women think they're tough, because they have to deal with, very feminine men,
I think it's a lot of feminine men, and no more than that. I think they have insecure things.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel men be dramatic. I heard women tell me a story that I be like, that's what they do here, my brother. It's like, yo, man, like men are too dramatic. And that's to be cut it out. We don't got time for dramatic. We got time to steps. This is what it is. Insecure can never be on the main mentality. You as a man and you insecure, cut it out right now. Cut it out right now, straight out.
You don't think men were more masculine back then than they are now?
Men worldwide were more masculine because we didn't have feminism. But see, the problem is black women, your mother's generation and your grandmother's generation, they really failed you guys because they told you didn't need a man. Who raised these feminine, weak black men that you have a problem with? Who raised them? Who raised them? 80% of black children are born out of wedlock. Who raised them?
Mm-hmm.
Who?
We did.
Who's we?
My mom or whoever my grandparents did.
Black who?
Women.
Thank you. That's who raised them. You raised the very men you have a problem with. Black men are 51% childless, 64% in the middle class. And the problem keeps being that, well, the black men back there were stronger. Back then, we had more of the law on our side, and we actually had more of a community. What happened, if you want the truth, was when the Great Society came in and black women were given a choice between government assistance and your men. Black women chose government assistance. As black male unemployment went down, black female welfare enrollment went up.
One of the worst type of men today is a man who's deep in his feminine energy. These type of men don't know how masculine energy is supposed to rest around feminine energy. You could be having a bad day, attitude through the roof, and because he doesn't know how to process those emotions, he'll mirror it back to you. And instead of him trying to correct it, now he mad because you mad and now he treating you differently. Sometimes it has nothing to do with him. So being there, soft, quiet, or just trying to fix your mood is how a masculine man shows up. This is something that my father taught me, because as a man, you have to understand that you cannot do what women do. We're sensitive, emotional, and have a period every month that can alter those emotions. So if you show up reflecting all of my emotions, I'm going to feel like I'm in a relationship with a woman. And that's going to naturally make me more masculine than submissive. These type of men are normally raised by women, which is where they learned how to keep up with a woman's energy. A man has to understand his role as a man, because women can be irrational. You can't match energy all the time, because when you go low, we go to hell. You gotta know when to brush it off, try to correct her mood, or move on with the day. Some men don't know what being a man is about because they too busy trying to keep up with women. Free game.
Girl, your man's feminine. There's no way around it. And here's how you can tell. He resists any leadership or accountability, but expects all the emotional heavy lifting from you. You're the one who has to make all the compromises. You're the one who always has to take his bullshit. You just have to shut the fuck up and listen. Because why? He's the man. Feminine man complains about everything, especially money. You guys go out on a date, you guys do things. He's constantly talking about all the dollars he's spending, never just going. He just always has to point out how it hurts his pocket. Even if he has money, he's going to let you know he does not enjoy spending it. He snaps all the time over anything and everything. It doesn't matter what it is more important for him to react than to understand. He has no ability to emotionally regulate. He's just so snappy, and he always has a urge to work from ego and to show you he's the man. And another thing too, if they say I'm the man, honey, they're operating from feminine energy. This also speaks to how moody he is. He's just always on edge, always just a ball of negativity. Oh, it's so disgusting. You have to tiptoe around all of his emotional moods like a female, literally like like a female. If your man is being more female than you, then you know, honey, he's operating from feminine energy. He's always looking for you to validate his feminine energy by competing with you. You guys might be out or just doing something or maybe building on something, and mine is better than yours, or I could do it better than you can. Honey, feminine energy. He is so easily threatened by a strong woman's confidence. That makes him feel small. When he sees a confident woman who's smart, who's intelligent, who's a go-getter, who's a hustler, this makes him feel some type of way. So he'll do things to self-sabotage. He'll try to push you away, or he'll make you feel small. And honey, feminine energy. Masculine energy is calm. It's quiet. It leads without having to announce it. You know you're around someone masculine when you feel more feminine in their presence. When you start to feel more masculine in a man's presence, he's operating from feminine energy. What are some feminine signs you notice in men? Follow for more.
His woman is doing the shit while he sit in the car. I know you fucking lying. She like, can you help me? Can you help me? He won't even hold the umbrella for her. Look at this. Oh my gosh.
Sad to say, but we got a real problem on our hands. How do we fix it? That's the $1,000,000 question. But I do know collectively, man and woman, oh yeah, we need to come together to at least put a dent in fixing this issue. Because ultimately thinking, if we continue down this path, that could be the end of humanity. But if you made it this far in the video and you not subscribed, why not? Don't think too hard on it. Just hit the subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support, man. Y'all hit that like button. Get down in the comment section. And with all that being said, holla.